Welcome back to Bluegrass on this beautiful June afternoon. Today we're going to talk a little bit about preventing or addressing reactivity problems in dogs. All right, now, so I'm going to, right off the bat, I hope that some of you at least that are watching this video aren't watching this video because you already have a reactive dog, but maybe you're watching this video because you're thinking about getting a dog, okay? This is my number one tip for not having a problem with what people will refer to as a reactive dog. Buy the right dog, okay? It's just that simple. Buy a dog that has a easygoing, natural, confident demeanor, okay? And you're not gonna have a lot of trouble as long as you get them out and you do some good early socialization and some good basic obedience, okay? And that's just the truth. When you go to watching dog training videos, okay, and people are dealing with problems, you're gonna notice over and over again that it's the same cast of characters that pop up. Look down there, that's one of those characters, and that's what inspired us to make this video today, okay? This is Beaux, and Beaux, he just got here yesterday, and he has been terrorizing us since he got here last night. Every time that somebody new comes down the hill or a new dog comes here, that Malinois puppy, he starts barking and growling, and then when people come up to him, he runs and hides under the table or hides under the tractor, okay? And so it got me thinking about, dog reactivity, because that's such a big portion of the dog training business. It's easy money, right? Because people that have a dog, they love the dog. If the dog is, kind of being aggressive, they'll spend any amount of money to fix it. And most of the time, people that have problem dogs, they weren't super proactive in the beginning, right? So they didn't do all the socialization and basic obedience that they should. And that kind of is indicative of their ownership and leadership style. So that means that they're not looking for anything hard and complicated to fix the problem. So they'll pay a lot of money for quick fixes, okay? And listen, guys, now I don't care how much money you pay. You can't get good dog training and a quick fix all in one package, right? Quick dog training is like quick weight loss. It just doesn't last. It doesn't work. So you can watch 1,000 videos where somebody takes a dog that's, what they call reactive, okay, and throws some food on the ground or maybe jerks the dog, or some guys even, kind of strangle the dogs a little bit. And it looks like the dogs have stopped being reactive. They haven't. They're just being managed in that particular instance. And what they're thinking is, I got to stop doing what I'm doing to do this other thing or to avoid getting strangled. And I'm not even passing judgment. I'm just telling you that that doesn't work in the long run, okay? What works in the long run is to understand the process of developing confidence in a dog in terms of an overall strategy, right? An overall set of protocols that are going to end up giving you a dog that still reacts to things in the environment, but it reacts in a way that you would like for it to react, right? See these two dogs? These two dogs react to everything that comes into our environment. They react every time I put them in a different environment. The difference between these two dogs, let me see if I can get this other dog over here. Come here, nerd. The difference between those two dogs and this dog is not that this dog is reactive and those two dogs aren't reactive. It's that those two dogs react to new and novel stimulus in an inquisitive and happy manner. And this guy responds to new and novel stimulus in a fearful manner. And I know that hurts your feelings, right? The guys that have these mouths that do all the bite work, okay? But aggression is rooted in fear, right? Even if the dogs go forward, right? If the dog feels like it needs to have conflict, right? Most often, the conflict is rooted in fear, just like it is with people. So, like I said, number one, buy dogs that are naturally confident and naturally have affable demeanors, right? If you want to do the least amount of work in terms of preventing what people describe as reactive, and that's not an accurate description, because all the dogs are reactive. It's just that some of them react in a fun and positive way, and some of them react in a negative way, in a way that we don't consider good manners, okay? So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is, if you decide to buy a dog, or adopt a dog, whatever, right? And you feel that, like Beaux, maybe has a little bit of a tendency towards having fearful reactions instead of calm, confident reactions, then it's on you to make sure that you put the dog in the widest variety of situations possible so that you can gradually build confidence in the dog simply through repetition and progressive exposure, right? Okay? The key, and I don't care what anybody says, this is the truth. The key to solving reactivity, and when I say reactivity, again, all dogs react to the environment. Some dogs just react in a negative way. You hear that off in the background? You want to solve that? Increase your dog's attention span. Increase their impulse control. Increase their confidence in relation to new and novel stimulation in the environment, okay? And what that comes from is progressive exposure, okay? So when we're working on something, like say even jumping up on this kayak, when we have puppies down here, and I ask the puppies to get up here on this kayak because it's kind of, you know, slippery sometimes, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of high off the ground. The puppies are initially afraid of it, right? And so they react by telling me they can't do it. Right? But every time that I show them that we can do it, I reinforce the idea that I would never put them in a situation where they're going to fail. And I also teach them to accept things that are a little bit hard. I build resilience in the dogs. Okay, now you hear that Malinois over there going, rah, 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 rah. What happens when you have a dog that acts like that? Come here, nerd. What happens when you have a dog that acts like that? Oh, there's nobody likes him. Come on, come here, come here. Up, up. Nobody likes him, right? And so when he goes places, you know, people look at him funny. And he knows that people are looking at him funny, right? And he's not welcome places. And the other dogs start looking at him funny. And so then, like, he's like, well, I already knew that, like, there was something strange about those people. I'd already put them over there in the out group, not trustworthy category. And now, every time I come, I can see how they act when I get here, you know. So the dog acts kind of bad, and then people look at him and assume that he's going to act kind of bad, right? Okay, and then it's like a vicious cycle downward, where the dogs get into these negative attention-seeking patterns, you know. So kind of like they make things happen to themselves. So what I'm going to do with that little dog over the course of the month is I'm going to teach him some simple, common sense, basic obedience. I'm going to use conversational vocabulary. And I'm going to consistently put him in situations where I build his impulse control, I build his attention span, okay, and I decrease his negative reactions to the environment via a process known as desensitization via progressive exposure, right? So all that means is he'll get used to it, right? So see how that movement of the dogs is causing them to get excited and bark. Think about a tea kettle on a stove, right? All the stimulation environment, it's causing him to have a lot of energy inside. And it gets displaced as that barking and carrying on. That's the same thing. So he's happy right now when he's chasing and barking like that. And then when somebody comes down the hill, he makes a similar but not the same noise. And you can kind of tell what it is, okay? It's a fearful noise. But over the course of the month, he's going to get exposed to so many things that everything's going to be old hat to him, you know? And he's not going to have big reactions. He's just going to go, yeah, look, somebody's here, that's cool. Yeah, look, some dogs are running around, that's cool. And he's going to understand the relationship between having good basic obedience and being confident and having access to the things that he wants. And so guys, if you really want to prevent reactivity in a dog, number one, buy the right dog. Number two, okay, if you didn't buy the right dog or you choose not to buy the right dog in the future, you better get busy with your basic obedience, your basic socialization, your impulse control, your attention span building, and most importantly, for the reactivity part, is desensitization to the widest range of environmental stimulation possible. All right, I'm going to show you guys this dog. I know you didn't get to see him very much today because he's running around in a big circle and making noise and stuff, but over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to make quite a few videos with you showing his progress. And then, you know, put your thoughts in the comment section below, because I know some people are under the mistaken assumption that if you socialize a dog a lot, if you let him make a lot of dog friends, if you let him make a lot of people friends, that's somehow going to lead to reactivity. And I am unequivocally stating that I believe that that position is wrong and harmful, and I'm willing to put what I do up for comparison to what anyone else does. All right, I'll see you guys next week.